up when I say my name. Like this is like anytime you whine on me, I get wet. And my sweating constantly, I get wet. The way you're flexing naturally, sweating me, I just can't see. Down in a party, me and my baby, grooving and jamming, grooving and jamming. The music season, and we feeling sweet. I ain't ashamed to say it. Every night and day, I want to wave, I want to wine, I want to party with you. Party with you. I want to love you right, yeah. I want to wave, I want to wine, I want to party with you. Party with you.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Maka, you want me to know this one?
I like that song, girl. Yeah, love it.
Listen, Maka get money pull up, so the money here pass. All right.
That's really
yes,
song.
Folks, that is my song. That is my song. That is. I just want to go off it just for that. No, I don't go as hard as but I want to go off it just for that song.
Listen, but you know what is fascinating? Crazy doing the party circuit with these fellas. Let me tell you something about Crazy. Yeah, this man is not to be underestimated. Edwin Ayong, we follow each other on social media. That man goes to the gym. He works out. He is crazy for Jesus, as he says. So he's in church. He always there up in Mount St. Benedict, swear he's going to get all the blessings in the world. And then what he does a lot is engages with the younger performers, be it soca, be it calypso. But he's very, very much a mentor and really much like a steward. So what he's doing is I see him toying with full blown. He was somewhere last night with them, and it looks like wherever they are, they're going to bring out the Crazy along once he's available.
Okay, well, which is good. Yeah, still paying reverence, homage to the legends. So incorporating them into the younger music. So it's good. It's good. And he's in his 80s, so just keeping him young. So yeah.
Nicole, which song is trending down there right now?
Oh gosh, Bungie has one that is trending, and Nadia is really, really trending. I'm trying to remember the name of the song because I said it for friends, because it is catchy. But I think for now it's Nadia and Bungie. And of course Marshall. It's usually been the three top suspects, right? Hey, Lyf is usually Marshall, Bungie, and I have not heard Fayan, but usually she will come out and she'll be contending with her husband, which is cute. But for now, I haven't been to any of the fetes, but I'm looking at social media, and the pulse is on Nadia. Nadia has really been ripping it up. And the song is called Pieces. And she was at Bishop's Cooler Fete last week, and her comment and her caption was, "I'll leave the fete in pieces." So it's looking like Nadia is going to be the party voice.
I love the song from Kesdo, Rum and Coca-Cola.
Oh, you know what? Casters take a long time to grow on me, Now, I was fall in love with it eventually, yeah? But I have to hear it about 20 times. Like I only liked Cocoa Tea late in the year last year.
Okay. And I like Young Brothers Inch by Inch too.
Oh, yes.
Inch by Inch, that's also a good song. Yeah. All right. So Lyf, what going on? We talking about you're not hearing us? Yeah. Lyf isn't hearing. Oh, you're not hearing? All right. Okay, no problem. Yeah, we're not hearing you. Okay. All right. So I see I like your plats, Lyf, but we're not hearing you. Okay. Okay, so what we would do, we would continue the conversation that we had earlier regarding the woman who visited the beach. So Nicole, you could probably lend your thoughts.
So I was just going to reference Barbados in the 80s. And I don't know if you remember that scenario, if you might have been too young to recall. But Barbados had a whole dialogue around the privatization of beaches, because there was this issue around the tourists having preference and having access to the beaches that the locals suddenly could not have. And so Gabby, I think it might have been 1983, sang a calypso, which I think was The Beaches We Own or something like that. Where he
That
said,
beach is mine. I could
I
visit
could bid any
anytime.
time. Despite what he said, I could use it anyway or something
Right.
like that. But the truth is, privatization of beaches and exclusivity of the access of beaches really changes the face of the experience. I'm not sure where the feedback is coming from. It really changes the experience of a local who might have been raised and grown up on that beach and had access to it all the time. I have no problem with a beach having limited access, right? However, you can't be asking somebody if they're local or foreign. What does that have to do with it? Plus, if it is that I could access the beach and not the amenities, I am fine. But then I also have a thing about personal space. And I feel like if it is that an organization or space is designated for their patrons, I will respect that. But I wouldn't respect it to the point where I'm disrespected because I will challenge it. So I feel like, some of it, the questions, and as you rightly said, Roleza, sometimes the security is just regurgitating what they have been told, and they actually, when they convey it, it literally totally distorted from the first instance of what they would have been actually shared or told. So you have to also understand that when these organizations are training their security and their staff, it has to be with a little more decorum. And definitely, absolutely, it should take into consideration not asking a question as accusatory as that. Because if you ask me that question, I have a case. If you ask me that question, I have a case. Automatically, I have a case. And my case is you are discriminating against me as a local. That's it.
But it could be a reason. Persons from the resort use that gate as well.
Yeah, but you would tell the difference when somebody is coming to work as opposed to when they come in to frolic on the beach. The dress would be different.
Persons who go to the resort, who came to the resort.
You mean like that?
Yeah, they use that gate to go across to visit bars on the other side. So when they come back, maybe they.
But Maka, you don't think that if you are asked, you entering somewhere, are you local? You haven't said, this is my country. You don't think?
Yeah, but I didn't see a problem with it.
You don't?
Oh,
okay.
I didn't see a problem with it. But as I say, that lady, I don't know.
So you thought that she went down for confrontation? I
believe so.
Okay, let's see what we have some comments there.
This person is saying, "Good morning. Good morning. I see you was discussing the lady on the beach. I can't believe her. I know people who go down to the beach and never had any problem."
And that is the thing. And that's what I'm trying to understand, if this is an issue that is faced by a lot of other persons.
I don't believe so.
Because to see that the said...
Can I come in here for a second?
Yes,
Something very interesting what Nicole said, right, is that the training. Okay, so let me give you some experiences. I guess we're talking about Sandals and the beach access, right?
Yes.
Right, so they're not supposed to stop anybody from using the beach. That's the main point, basically. That's just not supposed to happen. But Nico was speaking about proper training of security. Now, let me give you some personal experiences that I had in relation to even before Sandals was there, when it was Bokama. So, me and my wife used to like to go to Bokama, and we used to be there a lot. And we always had problems being local with the security. I don't know. One time we went to check in and they stopped us. The security stopped us and asked us where we were going. We had luggage, we were checking in. The white people were passing, the Caucasians were passing freely, and they stopped us and asked us for our names and whatever, and called to the front desk. Well, they tried to stop us. I didn't stop. I continued walking, right? But they ask name, they walk there and ask name, and they call and say whatever. They call the front desk or whatever, and the front desk told them yes. Another time, we were actually checked in, and you usually well, it's an all-inclusive resort. We were actually checked in, and I went to the bar for a drink, and the guy asked me, "Are you staying here?" You know what I mean? While the foreigners were getting the drinks without any problem, getting everything without problem, but he chose to ask me if I'm staying there. Another time we had well, me and some friends, we used to be invited to Bokama to play football on a Saturday evening with the guests. It was a program where they offered the guests that experience where they could come and play football on the resort. They had the whole facility there set up, so we would go there on Saturdays and play with the guests in a kind of like professional kind of setting. Like, and one time I was going in as I normally do on a Saturday, and I met a guy who he was a security officer there. He went to school with me, and he told me that I could not walk at the entrance. I had to go around to the back, which never happened before. So you see, it all comes down to training, and then like basically probably some people have some kind of like mindset. If they don't look a sort of way to them, that they probably think that you're just passing. But even when the Sandals resort was being built and they had the beach blocked off, right? And me and my son would sometimes walk across the river and go on the beach, and we never really had any issues. One time the security said, well, we're not supposed to really be there because there's heavy equipment or whatever, and we could get injured. But basically we just ignored him, you know what I mean? So I guess it just come down to like, maybe they ask you a question and they hope you go turn back. Not that they could actually turn you back, but they might be thinking that the question could detour you from going there because they don't really want you to go there. But I don't know. Probably it's come down to the training too and the mindset of the people.
Yeah, I honestly think it comes to the training and the wording, because the wording is what it is that matters here. You know, it's to me, it was just a simple case of saying, okay, welcome to as I said before, welcome to the beach. Don't use the amenities that we have, don't use the beach chairs, etc. But welcome to the beach. Something to that effect. It didn't have to come down to what it came down to.
And you know something, like you made a point, and it's about profiling, and that's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you something, I challenge profiling in the most absolutely vociferous way.
Me too.
And I don't use language that is foul or offensive. And I do not raise my voice, but I challenge profiling because it happens to me all the time. I will go somewhere, and if I use my last name Chin, if I'm on the phone and I use the last name Chin, I get priority. I'm telling you like it is. But when I
want people to see you.
And when they see me, they get confused. They get totally confused. And sometimes it's hilarious because I remember a time when I was still in the banking sector, this client came, and he came because he had spoken to me on the phone, and I told him, just come to Mrs. Chin. And when he came, the person who was in the front, he went to speak to them because they were Chinese. And they were like, I don't know what you're talking about, sir. And they were telling me, I don't know who you spoke to. And then when they called me and I came outside, and he said, how that happened?
How that happened? Oh my God.
You see, I think
it's real.
Yeah, I think these resorts on Sandals profile you, because like I didn't even mention one time I went for a day pass at Sandals and pulled up to the security booth and told the security guard that we're going for a day pass, and they actually stopped us and told us they had to verify with the front desk, as I said, while all the other people was just driving in freely. You know what I mean? So I think it's I don't know if they tell them to do that. I don't know if they tell them to do that or what, or they just do it off their own. It's just kind of weird to me.
But you know what is so funny about this entire conversation is that people who have money, they come in different races. They come looking in different ways. So I don't understand why it is that necessary. You would look at a black Vincentian and maybe assume that you can't afford to be here. You know, it's just a way
It's a mindset. It's a mindset. It's a situation where I think they still probably have a lot of Vincentians that see Caucasians, and from the time they see them, they automatically think they're rich.
Mm-hmm.
That happens automatically think. But I had a friend that said to me once, like he sells he lives in Canada, he sells appliances and like refrigerators, washing machines and whatever. So we were we were hanging out, and he said that he got an order for a washing machine. And when we took the washing machine to the person, I was saying, I laughed, and he said, "Why you laugh?" I said, "Because they don't look like somebody that won't buy a used washing machine." And he was said, "Boy, like majority, there are a lot of poor Caucasians in this country." You know what I mean? So that was kind of like on my part, and I was saying to myself that somebody that looked like that shouldn't buy a used washing machine, right? So that's not the case. You know, most of the people that buy the used stuff is the white people, basically. I don't want to sound racist by saying white people. You know,
well, we call ourselves black people, so I don't know. It's fine by me. So, but even with this whole conversation, it extends past Sandals. It extends just generally to the service sector, the hospitality/tourism sector, because way too many persons might see somebody white walking into a restaurant and so forth and give them better service, or you see them going into a store and you get people. Suddenly an accent comes out.
I have a question. Do people get followed in stores in St. Vincent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I had a one time, right? The Ministry of Tourism was refurbishing Fort Duvenet. They had finished the refurbishment of Fort Duvenet, so they had invited the press and some other people over to Fort Duvenet to like walk to the top and then have a small ceremony, right? So like they had people going over there in blazers and all kind of thing. I was like, I go to Fort Duvenet, I go to wear short pants or whatever, you know what I mean? I have to get to a boat, I have to go on a small hike or whatever. So went over there. There were people over there like Ray Batiste, Kelly Glass, and these kind of people over there, right? So like some of us went to the top. So when we came back down, now they had refreshments. So Kelly Glass was there getting refreshments or whatever, talking with the guy. So I went up now and asked for a drink, and he ignored me, right? So I stepped saying that I wanted a drink. You know what I mean? So then he was like, "Oh, you can't get a drink." So I said, "Why I can't get a drink? Kelly Glass just got a drink." You know what I mean? And the guy started to give me a whole heap of attitude and cuss and carry on and this and that, right? So me and he had it all, right? So Kelly Glass now, he ended up on getting involved on the guy's side. So I was like, "So why can't you have a drink and why I can't have a drink?" You know what I mean? And then argument back and forth. About 2 weeks after, I got married over Young Island. And the same guy, he is sent to greet the wedding party coming across on the boat. And he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I didn't say anything to him. So then he gets nervous, and then we go up to the dining room area, and he comes up behind me and says, that incident with me and you the other day, I want to apologize." I say, "No, you don't need to apologize. I don't want to. We're not gonna talk about that right now." You know what I mean? So like, it always baffled me to why is it that he gave the drink to Mr. Glass and didn't want to give me a drink? You know what I mean? Because everybody knows Mr. Glass is a white man, basically. You know what I mean? So I think is a mindset to some people. I think like some people are still stuck in that kind of like colonial mindset. For want of a better description. That's
all right. All right. We're live. All right. So, Lyf, we're going to have to bring this segment to a close. So, of course, we are going to see you back on Monday morning. All right.
And today's definitely Friday, right?
Today is definitely Friday. All right.
Okay.
Take care too.
Take care. Okay.
All right. And this is bye. So this is where we come to the end of this segment. Remember, to note that in a few minutes' time, we will be bringing to you an interview concerning the Cassidex study here in SVG. All right, so stay tuned. We have more coming up on this morning's Activated Mornings program here on WEFM. Time in SVG, it is 8:03, quickly approaching 8:04, and our time check came to you with the compliments of New Haven Funeral Home.
Death is a fact of life. Even though death is